understand a word you're saying, I'll be honest. Oh, rich people from the record industry. Young dudes together.
Goodbye.
Of all of the people that I used to know, most never adjusted to the great big world. I see them lurking in bookstores, working for the public radio, and the babies around, the sack on their back, moving careful and slow. It's money that matters. Hear what I say. It's money that matters. And the USA. All of these people are much brighter than I. In any fair system, they would flourish and thrive, but they barely survive. They eat out a living, they barely survive. When I was a young boy, maybe 13, I took a hard look around me, asked what does it mean? So I talked to my father, he didn't know. I talked to my friend, he didn't know. I talked to my brother, he didn't know. I talked to everybody that I knew. It's money that matters. Now you know that it's true. It's money that matters. Whatever you do. I talked to a man, lived up on the county line. I was washing his car with a friend of mine.
Planet on the Beach by Field Marshal Rommel.
What?
Sergeant Leonard Lommel. That's what the Rangers at Point de Hoc did. How
What?
hard it is. How many ways we're asked to walk away? How many instincts are to walk away?
What?
The most natural instinct is to walk away.
Huh?
Well, walking away.
What? What?
21 000 hommes, tous volontaires.
Oh, gotta take a dump.
Please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin
Oh,
III,
gotta take a dump.
Secretary of Defense of the United States of America.
But the media wasted no time politicizing a solemn day. Instead of thanking those brave men for actually defending our republic, they're thanking them for making Biden look young.
Here's President Biden spending time with one of those heroes. And once again, these vets did an incredible service to their nation. They made Joe Biden look young.
They called him Ambrose, they call him Bozy, Uncle Bozy.
Eaten by cannibals.
Shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there used to be a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
For real? Huh.
For real.
He's saying, freedom at charliekirk.com. Tell me what he's saying. Play cut 54.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
What?
I'm not going anywhere. That's not the way you do it. You're gonna beat me. You gotta run against me. Nobody wants to do it, right? Well, they got the California guy with the hair and the teeth. Come on. The only one who likes him is him. And we got VP lady, Laffy Kathy. Good luck with that. And the mayor guy, Judge Booty Pete. He can't beat me. Nobody respects him. And it's not because he's gay either. It's because he's not a real judge.
Whoa, 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 put on the brakes, put on the brakes. Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, pufties, bung-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom, to another version of It's News to Us.
And you know who you are, too.
Oh, man, something's weird. I look like Richard Nixon with a 5 o'clock shadow. Huh. Anyways, who are we? Where are we? What the hell are we doing here? Yeah, it's like our resident president said, yeah, the boys at Point du Hoc had to fight General Mitt Romney's army, tank army. Anyways, you're watching It's News to Us, where Newport's oldest TV news watches new brown cows, the locals say. And here's our commander-in-chief right there. Get off my lawn. He's getting the sundowner syndrome, man. Every day that goes by, he looks more and more like that old guy Puppet by Jeff, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean, Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, yeah, he looks like the old guy Puppet. And that's him right there, the cadaver and thief. Yeah, it's funny. Hunter got busted. Hunter got nailed for the weapons charges, but so now he's going to go to court for the IRS charges, tax charges. But nobody's mentioning what he did for the money, and how come all the Biden family made money, like $20 million from all these different countries. Tajikistan, you know, I mean, what? They don't get at the nut of the story. And we're all inclusive here. We cater to men, women, bat wangers, paper hangers, carpet munchers, and time crunchers. And defund the police, I don't think so. No. It's not working out. I've got the receipts to prove it. And yeah, we got to get rid of Joe. Peace and prosperity, not wars and austerity. As a matter of fact, the three things that they want to get, the three major things that Trump wants to do when he gets in, is one, seal the border and deport all these welfare bums. Two, jump on the economy, and for every tax cut, or for every tax increase, they have to get one tax cut. And number three, stop the wars, okay? Stop the wars right now. You can get peace in the Mideast and peace in, what do you call it? In the Ukraine, too. We're getting sick of that laundromat they call the Ukraine. It's a money laundry for the friggin' CIA. And the Biden family and every other crooked SOB that ever wandered into Washington. Oh, and I have to mention this. Two of our senators, state senators, died recently. The latest one is Dick Sears from Bennington and Dick Mazza from over in Colchester. But Dick Sears, he was a great guy, you know. But we used to joke about the people down at the state capitol. They were making rope out of Dick Sears' nose and ear hair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how much of a bear he was. And here we are. 25,000 Vermonters will no longer receive a $30 monthly discount for high-speed net after a federal program expired. Well, again, you know, that should be done. That should be absorbed by the damn internet companies, not by the taxpayers. You take out of our pocket and give to theirs.
I saw a good one on Facebook. You know what it said?
Oh, geez.
It said, you cannot tax people into poverty and think it's going to change the climate.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
how
they're
true.
doing here.
I forgot to mention this. In the booth, you can see him waving. We have Philo Hornsworth. Philo Farnsworth, the College of Musical Knowledge, drummer extraordinaire and inventor of American television. And We've been doing this show for a long time, man. I couldn't do half of this stuff I couldn't do any of it without Philo. And the TV studio, which we have a board meeting tonight. It looks like the place is going to get a new paint job, new equipment. We've got a bunch of grant money that needs to be spent or it will disappear.
Yeah, and that's cool. We got a new desk coming.
Yeah. The Eyewitness News Desk, Philo. We need some of that music, you know. And for the NEK TV's news division. And here we are. Vermont home prices increased more than any other states last year, nearly double the nationwide average, according to Vermont Public Radio reported. Isn't that insane? They want to up the value on my house by about almost 50%, Philo.
Why is that?
I have to go down and reappraisal. I have to go down and fight it. I got a whole bunch of reasons why, but I'm not going to take it lying down. I won't, you know.
My father used to be fighting with the listers in Springfield all the time.
I'm telling you, my foundation's made out of rubble. I have these dumbasses that had the house before me put on an addition in the 1960s and didn't put enough pitch on the roof. So I re-roofed it and everything, but still I get ice dams in the roof leaks. And since they installed the sidewalk in my front yard, it's turned into the Hoover Dam out there, and all the water coming off the roofs, it percolates through instead of running off down the road, it now percolates and goes into my basement, or what I have for a basement. It's a mud pit. And I've got 3 or 4 different rooms that don't have sheetrock. I mean, I ran out of money before I could sheetrock them. There's a whole bunch of different reasons. So I got to get my. I appealed it, and I noticed I had an email from them, but I didn't have a chance to answer it today. Anyways, I'm not going to take it lying down. And here we are. Underwater search experts told NBC5 over in Plattsburgh or Burlington, whatever, that they discovered a private jet that crashed into Lake Champlain in 1971. There were 5 people on board, Philo.
Wow, imagine that.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any skeletons in that thing.
Huh.
You know, the jets have a pretty tough little fuselage, you know. So unless it broke up when it hit the water, there would be remains still in the plane. What in the hell? Is that our maintenance guy?
I would not be surprised if it was.
Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Hey, buddy, we're trying to do a friggin' show in here.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Oh. It's kind of like a TV station. That's what we do. Hello? Well, we'll hope the mic isn't too sensitive to pick it up.
I don't hear it too much on my headphones.
Yeah, it's a small lawn. He'll be done with it soon. I'm not gonna bug him. He's a nice guy. Oh, and here we are. Biologists accidentally rediscovered a plant called the false mermaid weed, Philo.
No kidding.
Which was thought to be extinct in Vermont.
Okay. Does it make mermaids?
Yeah, in Addison County. Quite the tale.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. See, some, you know, yeah, it's been, look at all the species that have gone extinct. Well, oops. I mean, but how many people are really, how many people know what false mermaid weed looks like?
You mean the endangered feces?
Yeah, it's an endangered feces, is right.
You remember Emily Latella?
Yeah.
That's what she came out with. He says, I don't know what the problem is. People are talking about endangered feces.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Let's see. Should we do some more local news?
I think so.
Okay. And men face drug charges after deadly police chase.
No kidding.
Yeah, two New York City men pled not guilty to drug charges stemming from a police chase in Bumington into Colchester last Friday when their car crashed, killing 2 other people in the vehicle. Tyami Barnes, 31 of the Bronx, and Ron A. Thomas, 21 of Brooklyn, face felony counts of cocaine trafficking after cops say they found large amounts of drug at the crash scene. Thomas also netted 2 charges for selling coke as part of a separate drug investigation. More charges are even expected. Both men were arraigned and released on conditions Monday. Released on conditions. You think they're going to stick around, Philo?
Of course. They're law-abiding citizens.
Yeah. What did their mother say?
They're good boys.
Oh, you released on conditions. This is Slippery Sarah. Sarah George, 2 first names. Hoy, an Irish girl, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Some people have been heard to call her Greasy Sarah because she looks like 3 days before the bath. But it's just nuts. She doesn't jail anyone because they're all good boys. You know, they're underprivileged, Philo, and they grew up down in that concrete asphalt jungle. You know, they're just coming up to Vermont for fresh air.
By the way, I found the quote. The quote says, "Taxing people into poverty will not change the weather." And that's what Vermont is doing.
Oh, man.
More taxes, more taxes, more taxes.
Yeah, this stuff has got to stop.
Well, Montpelier's got to be changed, but I don't see it changing anytime too soon.
I mean, they even admitted, all of these pukes, when they grilled them at the State House, all admitted that the Earth wouldn't stop warming, which is what they're worried about. Not one iota. Anything and everything that Vermont does will not change anything one iota.
Nope, not at all.
But anyways, back to our fresh air fund for the underprivileged New York City kids.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Released on conditions. A 3rd suspect, 18, was referred to family court.
Oh.
Oh, okay. No, you're 18, you're an adult, man.
That's right.
Damn it. This is insane. Yet they'll keep voting for Slippery Sarah. She's a George Soros prosecutor. An affidavit says the incident started at 6:15 on Friday when Burlington cops got a 911 call about an altercation outside with a firearm outside Cafe Hot on Main Street. All capital letters, Cafe Hot. Let's see. The caller said the suspects fled in a white SUV with out-of-state plates. 40 minutes later, cops were dispatched to Perkins Pier for an incident involving the same vehicle. The caller, who works for Hertz Rental, said the SUV was a white Ford Expedition with New York plates. Rental hadn't been returned on time. No. Say it ain't so, Philo.
My goodness. What's the world coming to?
He had tracked the car and was parked next to Perkins Pier and confronted the occupants. They threatened him with a gun and then jumped into a black Expedition, which was also a rental, and drove off.
Oh.
Using GPS data, they tracked it to Pearl Street. The driver then sped off, weaving in and out of traffic, went down Route 127 Beltline. They followed and called off the chase after clocking it at 115 miles an hour.
That's exciting.
And I'm sure they're great drivers because Expeditions are known to handle like Porsches, right, Philo?
Oh, definitely.
And I'm sure they've been driving for many years growing up in New York City.
Yep, they get about a block or two, and that's about it.
Yeah, and then they take off the training wheels.
That's right.
Okay. Colchester cops picked up the pursuit when the SUV crossed into their jurisdiction. Shortly after, it crashed on Lakeshore Drive and flipped over, killing 2 passengers. Police said the men were transporting more than 800 grams of coke and several baggies of crack.
Yes, and a little bit of Pepsi, too.
Yeah, yipper. And some Mountain Dew. Vermont State Police are investigating the crash. They identified the deceased as 19-year-old Emmanuel McLeod of Brooklyn and 28-year-old Taiwan Parker of the Bronx. Police are unsure who was driving either vehicle. No seatbelts, of course, which would have saved their frickin' lives, Philo. Police are unsure who was driving. They also haven't recovered any of the firearms. So all you people who live along the frickin' Lakeshore Drive, going back to Burlington, and along the Beltline, I would be checking your front yard, because chances are, man, chances are there's a hot pistol on the side of the road somewhere. That's just me. I'm sure it's all registered, right? Yeah, the New York City fellows they're known for following the drug law, the gun laws to the letter, Philo.
Yes, whichever letter happens to pop into their heads.
Yeah. Oh, man. And last but not least, Scott vetoes the overdose prevention site bill. Just what we need, you know? I mean, we have bar rooms for people who drink, but we don't have bar rooms with nurses in them so that people get so drunk and tip over, they don't die of alcohol poisoning, you know what I mean?
Oh, what else? They wanted safe injection sites too.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's what they're...
The same thing? No.
Here we are. Governor Phil Snott vetoed a bill last Thursday that would authorize a facility where people could safely use illegal drugs.
Yeah, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he vetoed it. Good for him.
Yeah, they're going to override it. You watch.
Probably. I hope not.
They will.
Because you know if they put one in Burlington, then they're going to have one next to the methadone clinic down here.
Yep.
And people will be lined up every morning, and there'll be overdoses and friggin' drug sales and you name it.
I don't know when these people in Burlington are going to get a clue.
Their brains are soft.
Yeah.
Their heads are soft, man.
Well, maybe we should give them $250.
And a bus ticket.
Do you know why?
Why?
They can go to Vanna White and buy a clue.
No, I'd give them $500 and a bus ticket one way to friggin' L.A.
Vanna White, that's a vowel, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. 872 instructs the Vermont Department of Health to pass rules by September that would govern the operation of OD prevention sites in the state. It also includes $1 million in opioid settlement funds towards establishing a facility, most likely in Burlington. A facility. Doesn't that sound better than a shooting gallery?
I think a shooting gallery is much more accurate.
Yeah. Snott said in his veto message that they're well-intentioned, but the funds would be better spent on proven prevention, treatment, and recovery strategies.
No kidding.
Yeah, especially, you know which, out of all the, and you probably know this because Philo used to be a counselor in his previous lifetime, that the ones that recovery centers with the best success rates are the religious ones, Philo?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'd bet money on it. Let's see. Because you're substituting Jesus. You acknowledge that there's something more powerful than yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, the facilities that I knew, the rehab facilities that I knew here in Vermont, I don't think any of them did that. I knew of Maple Leaf and Serenity House and Valley Vista were the three that I knew.
Yeah, I think those are all closed now.
Serenity House, no, Valley Vista's still open.
Valley Vista, yeah. All right. Anyways, while it may consolidate the widespread drug use in Burlington into a smaller area within the city, it will come at the expense of the treatment and recovery needs of other communities for whom such a model will not work, the governor said. But with the ODs nearly quadruple what they were a decade ago, again, they're finally starting to drop because we're running out of junkies.
I don't feel the least bit sympathetic.
Any death diminishes me, but you know, I mean, I don't know.
You know, you go to rehab and you have to get a clue when you're there for a reason, and the reason is not to get high.
You gotta make it work.
Yeah. You've got to want it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Desperately needed to save the lives of people hooked on increasingly deadly drugs. Yeah, and they're putting that stuff in there that causes skin ulcers and stuff.
Yep.
Last year, 231 people died from ODs in Vermont. According to preliminary state data, that's a 5% drop from the record of 244 in 2022. Vermont Health Commissioner Mark Levine, that guy is still our health commissioner. Why wasn't he fired after that? After all that crap, all the people that they ruined with the COVID crap, Philo?
Beats me. I don't understand.
He should have got his friggin' rubber-faced, comb-over ass out the door. That guy, he lied to me. He lied about Fauci. They were doing witch doctor stuff instead of proven virology, you know? No, I'm not a fan of Dr. Mark Levine, as you can see.
Yep.
Let's see. He said that the harm reduction efforts, increasingly availability of Narcan, are working. He said the jury's still out on whether OD centers help people beat their addiction. Oh, sure. You're going to help them be a junkie. You're going to help them to keep being a junkie, and then you're going to wonder, but yet you're going to say that, oh yeah, a certain percentage that it's going to bring them in to quit. Let's see. Only 2 such centers operate in the U.S. Both are in New York City. Burlington leaders, including Mayor Emma Mulvaney-Stinknick, said they're convinced the site would work in the Queer City. She urged Scott to sign the bill, writing, "By providing support and resources to those in need, we can reduce opioid-related deaths and negative health outcomes and create a safer, healthier environment for all residents." Yeah. Sure. It's Vermont's first lesbian mayor, Philo.
Hey, we have one down in Washington, the first ever.
Oh, yeah, our first lesbian congresswoman.
Yep. Actually, she got in on, the first thing I heard was that she was the first Vermont representative, female.
That too.
And then they added the lesbian part later, which is like, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever, man.
It's called identity politics.
We're all done with this.
Yep.
Oh, I was showing this to Philo. Of course, you can't see it from there, and I'm not going to show it up close. I can't, as it's got the brand name on it. Thanks, Philo. But I was going through my freezer. I went to get something out of the freezer, and I noticed the expiration date of like 2021, right? And I'm all like, 2021? I'm there, how much of this other stuff is that old, Because I'm thinking, you know how it gets. You live by yourself and you buy stuff, you put it in the freezer, you don't eat it all at once, and I don't know. So anyways, I'm looking in the freezer, and one by one, everything I'm taking out of there is like expired. So I cut open the packages and I put it all in a big stainless steel slop bucket to go out to the mulch pile. And I come along this chopped spinach here that I got at my local grocery store. Didn't think anything of it. I'm looking for the due date, and this one, of course, this is the only one that said it was best by January of 2025. So it was still good, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. And then I looked, and it says product of Netherlands. And I'm all like, oh, okay, that's cool. I trust the Dutch. They got decent farms, right? Wrong. I look at the thing, and it says, warning, consuming this product can expose you to chemicals. It's not a chemical, this is a heavy metal. Expose you to chemicals including cadmium, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects and other reproductive harm. For more information, go to www.p65warnings.ca.gov/food. cadmium. Cadmium in Dutch spinach, boys and girls. Where in the hell? And I'm thinking, where could that come from, man? Unless they're downwind from a coal plant, which they're not, right? And or either that, or they're taking the municipal sewerage sludge, and they are doing this. They're selling it as topsoil now. I wrote the name of this stuff down, but my buddy T down in Florida told me about this stuff they're selling. It's like peat moss or stuff. They're called gardening soil, and it's made out of the same crappy sludge from sewer plants. But anyways, okay, boy, do we have a bunch of national news here. I'm not sure, I can't remember if we showed you if we've got the Juneteenth. This is another thing that bugs me too. We have one day for Veterans Day in the fall, Philo, right?
That's right.
Armistice Day. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, World War I ended. We got one day for Veterans Day. We have one day for all of our dead service people. That's Memorial Day, and yet we have a whole month for queers. We have Queer Month, Queer Pride Month.
You know what's been pushing back though? I get a lot of good information from Facebook, really.
Provided what they allow out, right?
Yeah, well, it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, also. But you don't hear about that in the mainstream media, do you?
No.
But it is a fact.
Just the fact, Jack. Yeah, so we've got video. Philo was kind enough to put some clips on this week. In the beginning of the show, one is from Joe. He's did the Juneteenth celebration down in the White House, and everybody's clapping along, and you can see Joe. And it's kind of like Steve Martin and The Jerk. I don't know why I couldn't hold the camera still. I should have gotten that clip from The Jerk. They ran that movie. I was born a poor black child. And he's the only white guy in this family, and everybody's clapping and singing this song, and Steve Martin's like clapping out of tune, and that's exactly what Joe Bite Me was doing.
You know what always kills me at a concert? I haven't seen it in a while, but when people clap on the 1 and the 3 instead of the 2 and the 4, drives me insane.
Well, it's funny, that the guy who Wheeler had in here last week to interview.
Oh yeah.
When he ran the Civil War Roundtable, right? Every year they would have someone would get knighthood, right? Someone who was a leader, or did this or did that, and and so what they would do is they would have the ceremony, and they would play that Queen song. You know the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, We Will Rock You?
Yeah. Buddy, you're an old man, you're gonna be a big man someday. You got blood on your face, a big disgrace. So anyways, they'd play that song, and there's nothing funnier than a room full of white people trying to clap along to Queen, even though it's the simplest thing to clap along to.
By the way, do you know what that sound is that they make? That made that, what made that sound on that record?
No, it sounded like a lead guitar, wasn't it?
No, the thing goes good. The thing that goes boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang. That thing, that's an old drum machine.
I'll be damned.
Yep.
How old?
Well, it goes back to when, 76?
Oh, yeah,
78, something like that.
Easily, yeah.
I'll find out. I can do it.
Yeah, A Night at the Opera, right? Anyways, and we've got more border crossings up here in Richford. Get this, Philo. And we've lived up here forever and ever. And, you know, I live less than a quarter mile, half mile from the freaking Canadian border, right? And we don't see that many, and the Border Patrol are a heavy presence in town. They're always there. Well, in the Richford sector, Philo, they've caught 1,100 border jumpers in March and 1,500 in April. It's breaking all records, man. And that little punk Justin Trudeau is waving them all in and then just giving them friggin' Uber rides to the border.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That song, We Will Rock You, came out in 1977.
Yipper.
So that's how old the old drum machines, they were, you know, that was the beginning with it. Everything started getting ultra synthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's his face? Neil Young was the first one to come out with a digital album. I have a copy of it in the car. It's called Tron.
Oh, what year was that?
It was like 78, 79, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it was after my bike accident. I was living in Mexico. But it was weird. He did a digital version of Mr. Soul. It sounds weird as hell.
Huh. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Check it out, man.
I can do that.
Yeah, and oh, get this. The parent company for Sun Common, Philo,
Yep.
named iSun, has filed for bankruptcy here in Vermont. It looks like solar just isn't working out.
Well, they got it everywhere.
Yeah. So those people are lucky they're locked into a fairly low interest rate. And the power companies, even though they can buy power from Hydro-Quebec up here at, what the hell, I don't know, 4 cents, 6 cents a kilowatt hour, right?
Yeah.
Even though they can buy it that cheap, they are mandated to buy the solar power for something like 11 or 12 cents a kilowatt hour.
Wow.
Yipper. Yep, part of that renewable energy. We're going to be carbon-free by 2030, Philo.
Well, I am a carbon-based unit, so I guess I'll be gone too.
I'm telling you, man, carbon dioxide is not a pollutant, boys and girls. Don't make me dig out the cards. Don't make me dig out the cards with the website, because I'll get up and do it. All right?
Don't get him started, folks.
We have the technology. Philo can put it on hold. I can get up and I'll get all those websites. So all you kids who have been brainwashed can look for yourself.
Oh, I like the one where I see the kids, the young people going, we have to stop farming. Farming is causing pollution. Oh, sure. Now, what are you going to eat now, Snowflake?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, did you see the results of the European parliamentary elections, Philo?
Not yet. The UK had them?
Everybody had them. Okay, here we are. The Daily Mirror, speaking of which, of our sociopathic overlords, as Ben Harnwell calls them, the Daily Mirror has a great article about the Ukrainian Nazis, the Azov Battalion. Anyways, the European Parliament, the EPP's party, got 186 of 720 seats, over 25%. They're conservative, Philo, right?
Okay.
The S&D Socialists got 135 seats out of 720 again. They lost 4. The Socialists did. The Renew Party, which is number 3, and they're liberals, they got 79 seats. They lost 23 seats, Philo.
Yep.
And they're the one, their defeat caused a political crisis in France, and which made Macron call for snap elections.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So they lost 23 seats. The ECR party, a populist far right, you know, because whenever the press doesn't like anything that's not New World Order or a Great Reset party, they call it far right. You never see any far left. It's always far right.
I think it's far out, man.
Yeah, far out, man. The ECR party, yeah, I got that one. Oh, the Eurosceptic, the ID party, which is even further right, They got 58 seats, including Marine Le Pen's National Front, the French girl, and Geert Wilders' Party for Freedom, which is now the largest French party. Macron, I told you this, called for snap elections. He says, he came out and he said, the far right cannot unite. And the Greenies, Philo, lost 18 seats. The non-affiliated parties, they got 45 seats. They lost 17. The left got 36. They lost 1. And the others got 55. And those are the ones that are not allied with anyone, and they're anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I think the UK is going to have an election here soon, aren't they?
Yeah, if they haven't already.
Well, they're not putting anything on, so they're either doing it now or they're going to, because I haven't had anything new from them in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Philo should know because he downloads this stuff.
And their elections, I believe, take 2 months.
Well, they shut down all political talk for 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, and we saw at the Normandy celebration, which we saw Biden up there. The guy's a disgrace to the race, man. He couldn't walk around. He could barely stand up. He's mumbling, stumbling, bumbling, fumbling. He's just a disgrace. He groveled to Zelensky. Why they had Zelensky there, you know, the Ukrainians sided with the Nazis for the most part in World War II, and they had Zelensky there. And I'm watching this press conference with Biden and Zelensky, and here he is, Joe Biden's put on the knee pads, and he's apologizing to this little punk in a tracksuit and work boots, apologizing to him for not getting him more money on time, Philo.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, we got to get rid of him because 80% of the people in this country do not want a war in the Ukraine. And we promised Putin that we would not allow Ukraine in NATO. And speaking of which, Biden gave this interview with Time Magazine, Philo, if there even is a Time Magazine anymore. So they published the highlights, which are one thing, but then like a week later, they published the whole transcripts, right? Which are like 180 degrees apart. According to the transcripts at Time, and you can see them online if you want to dig for them, President Biden's, he said that the Ukrainian endgame, he said no Russian occupation and weapon sales from the United States. Because that's all we care about is selling them weapons. Okay, it gets better. And Biden actually came out in the transcripts and said that the United States is not prepared for the NATOization of the Ukraine. What? Really? He said this after he had previously held out NATO membership to Zelensky. This is insane, man. We've seen this movie. Philo and I have seen it in South Vietnam. We've seen it in Iraq. We've seen this movie over and over and over again. In Libya, look what they did to Muammar. It's crazy, man.
He wasn't even bothering us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he was gonna mint up some gold coins, and that was the end of that. Oh, and get this, that Fannie, what's her name? Fannie Willis or something, that dumbass prosecutor in Atlanta that was going after Trump, Philo.
Yeah.
It looks like not only is she being looked at for ethics violations, but it looks like the whole case is falling apart because they're stupid. Her boyfriend, Nathan Wade, was so stupid that he billed Georgia taxpayers for COVID money, and then he billed them for meetings with the White House counsel's office, according to the Article3project.org. They must have told him, look, when you come up to the White House, keep it on the down low, come around to the back door. We don't want the reporters seeing you up here, because then it would show that the White House is coordinating these lawfare attacks on Trump, right? Well, he might have used the back door and he might have kept it on the down low, but then when he gets home, he put in his billable hours that he billed him for 24 hours a day for like 3 or 4 days of White House consultation. I mean, sure, I'd be a dummy. That's me. I'm Nathan Wade. I'd be a dummy. I'm Fannie Willis's boyfriend. Because she told me a man is not a plan. You remember that? A man is not a plan. Oh, and they're discovering more and more stuff about that stupid January 6th baloney, Philo. It seems now we have video of Nancy Pelosi saying that she takes responsibility for the security at the Capitol, which she should have, right? And it turns out that the January 6th thing there, the Democrat one, they deleted evidence, they destroyed witness interviews, interview videos, they manufactured star witness testimony, like the one with Cassidy Hutchinson. Remember? She said that the Secret Service guy told her that Biden, that Trump jumped into the front seat and tried to grab the wheel. It's crazy, man. And it's all coming out now. It's all coming out now, finally. But they've deleted, they've not only tampered with the evidence, they've destroyed evidence. It's crazy, man. And they just grabbed 8 Tajiks from Tajikistan and deported them, which means that they were watching these guys, but they didn't have enough evidence of them. They were discussing bomb making, I guess, and the FBI grabbed them. And they all came waltzing over the border. Yep. Joe Biden let them right in for the last 3 years, man. Anybody, just waltz right in, get a free cell phone. And, the consumer price index is at an all-time high, Philo.
Wow.
Yep. It's 314.069, and I don't know, producer price into whatever is like 318.14. 27% of Americans are now skipping a meal, Philo.
No kidding.
And the average family is now $10,000 a year poorer than they were under Trump. But that's okay because, we've got infrastructure, Philo. We've got, what'd they say, 4 or 5 battery car charging stations built already?
Here in Newport, I only know of one.
Yeah. It's insane, man. Oh, here's some genius for you. According to the New York State law, somebody came out last week. I had to write this down. It was so stupid. And they said that violence needs to be violent.
Huh?
That's what they said. Something about a law when it comes to violence, being labeled violent, I think. They said that violence needs to be violent. It's just nuts, man. Oh, and this guy is going to court, a reporter. God, I didn't write down his name. Damn it. He works for the TennesseeStar.com. He's been trying to get the journals from that Nashville tranny that shot up the Christian school.
Oh, okay.
And killed the kids and killed like 3 teachers also. So they're going to court. They're going to take the reporter to court. How much of the censorship are we going to take under the Biden administration?
Well, if you remember correctly, my friend, RFK Jr., said that Biden was a bigger threat to democracy than Trump.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. But
See, I mean,
his
Trump-
own family says he's crazy, and the Democrats are saying his family thinks he's crazy. It's like, get a clue here.
Yeah, it's the censorship. That's the biggest thing in my book. I cannot take censorship.
Well, once in a while, you got to have a little discretion, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, if it involves national security or something legitimate.
I'll give you an example after the show.
Yeah. According, the Nashville tranny kept journals. It had a last will and testament taped to a wall so her parents would read it. She had tons of stuffed animals, and she left an 80-page manifesto, Philo.
Oh, I love those.
Or more. And the FBI won't release them because they say that they're standing up for the protection of a legacy token.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's a new term that they came up with in the past year. Protection of a legacy token. And this reporter's going after him, saying that it claims it had psychiatric care for 22 years. And even though the shrink knew that it was violent, that it exhibited violent tendencies and thought to harm other people, they have a duty to report that, Philo.
Oh, I know that. I had that as a counselor.
Yeah, it's called the duty to warn others.
That's right.
And at Vanderbilt, but they did, and the FBI and I guess the locals are destroying tapes and documents. They said they did the same thing with they prevent copycats like Columbine, man. These are called the Covenant religious school shootings. And again, you can see it see all this stuff at the TennesseeStar.com. It's crazy because I guess when with some people you can't just they can't take it. If you just throw them into reverse, it's like throwing a car into reverse. You know, all your life you're being raised as a girl, excuse me, and then suddenly, bang, you know, they just inject you full of hormones. You start shaving, your voice gets lower, and you start behaving like a boy. And with some males, it turns into violent behavior, Philo.
No kidding.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi admitted a capital failure, according to a HBO video. The new January 6th committee, the real one, is being run by Representative Loudermilk from Georgia. I think his name is Barry Loudermilk. And the Democrats had wasted $18 million on that stupid January 6th committee, and they didn't even have any. Oh, dear Christ! Where was it? Let's see. They didn't have any ranking members or minority counsel. They lied about Cassidy Hutchinson and the driver. The FBI knew in the spring of 2016 about Hunter's laptop and the corruption. There are 3.9 million pages of emails. They swung the 2020 election. Apparently, 2014, Soros came out in 2014 and said, we need to make more intel friends at the DOJ and FBI. Yeah, sure we do.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. 15% of New York City hotels are filled with migrantes. That's 135 hotels out of 680. You got 6,000 rooms closed since the lockdowns. And they got a 923, a 3-year deal with the city for more hotels for $1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. Okay. Oh, and Joe came out last week and said that he had known Putin for 40 years. So that means he knew Putin when he was a KGB agent in Dresden, East Germany, Philo.
Yep, that's right.
Imagine that.
Well,
East Germany.
40 years ago would be 1980.
Yeah, that was before the wall came down.
Yeah, 1980, 1984. That's 40 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and they got another case with these stupid ass voting machines out in Colorado.
Oh, okay, Steve. Last but not least.
Yeah, and you can see the stuff at freetina.com. Tina Peters, she's going up against the voting machines, and last week the CNN had 83,000 viewers one night. Philo.
Okay.
Some people have more viewers than that on YouTube. Well, once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life watching this stupid show. I left my Akbar hat over there. So hopefully we'll see you again next week. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Inshallah, as the Hebrews say. So until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men only mosque, sniff the bum of the guy in the man dress in front of you, head east towards the meteorite Mecca and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar.
And happy Deus Magnus Est to everyone out there in TV land.
Back to Tajikistan.
Planted on the beach by Field Marshal Rommel.
What?
Sergeant Leonard Lommel. That's what the Rangers at Point de Hoc did. How
What?
hard it is. How many ways we're asked to walk away? How many instincts are to walk away?
What?
The most natural instinct is to walk away.
Huh?
Well, walking away.
What? What?
21 000 hommes, tous volontaires.
Distinguished guests,
gotta take a dump.
Please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin III,
Gotta take a dump.
Secretary of Defense of the United States of America.
But the media wasted no time politicizing a solemn day. Instead of thanking those brave men for actually defending our republic, they're thanking them for making Biden look young.
Here's President Biden spending time with one of those heroes. And once again, these vets did an incredible service to their nation. They made Joe Biden look young.
They call him Ambrose, they call him Bozy, my Uncle Bozy.
Eaten by cannibals.
Shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there used to be a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
For real? Huh.
Freedom at charliekirk.com. Tell me what he's saying. Play cut 54.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
What?
I'm not going anywhere. That's not the way you do it. You're gonna beat me. You gotta run against me. Nobody wants to do it, right? Who they got? The California guy with the hair and the teeth? Come on. The only one who likes him is him. And who we got? VP lady? Laffy Kathy? Good luck with that. And the mayor guy, Judge Booty Pete. He can't beat me. Nobody respects him. And it's not because he's gay either. It's because he's not a real judge.
It was a little black guy in a red jumpsuit. I said that looks kind of funny. He said I know it does too. They got a great big house on the hill here. Great big blind wife inside it. Great big pool in my backyard. Another great big pool beside it. Sunday is money that matters. Hear what I say. It's money that matters in the USA. It's money that matters. Now you know that it's true. It's money that matters.
This is not getting us anywhere. Let's just wrap this up.